that there seems to be a lot of lore in pretty much everything that you can possibly think of. If they're going through the woods and they meet a tree and the tree does something, there's lore behind it. If they pick up a sword on the side of the road and the sword is unique, there's lore behind it. And they kind of build that into like every step you take and every path that these characters cross, there's some kind of lore that they're interacting with. And I think that is really interesting about this book. And this is why it can go so deep and why the Lord of the Rings and what we know about it is something that people study for their whole lives. Like people study the languages of the book that were actually created. They study the history of the book, The Hobbit, which was a children's book. They study the notes and texts that Tolkien wrote that his son collected into a book, and about these characters and about these stories and about all the lore of the different pieces of the book. So that part of it's amazing, but it does meander a little bit to where you kind of lose track of what is actually happening, and you might tune out a little bit in certain places because you're reading and or listening in my case, and you're like in the middle of a song between two characters and they're just singing for a good amount of time, and you're learning about the song that these hobbit people are singing, and you're not sure what this has to do with anything, but it brings a lot of character to the story, and it brings a good understanding of who these people are essentially and what different aspects of the story means to these characters.